How about now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, very good.
Okay. So, Mr. Hamey, are you here for or with Ms. Arnett?
Miss Arnett had a medical procedure this morning and she may or may not be able to join us. Judge, I am reporting to Your Honor that we are going to file a request for jury trial, and we'll do that today. I wanted to maintain this hearing so we can see what the docket is or what the schedule is when I might anticipate Meisenheimer will hear the case.
Okay. Ms. Beverlin, can you enlighten us?
Well, I think we just need to set it. The next docket is either Monday, the 26th, or it'll be Monday, August 9th. And I mean, right now we have a docket for all the cases that have already been arranged on July 29th for scheduling the jury trials, but I don't know if he's going to want to put this one on that one just yet. So I would suggest we just put it on the regular Monday docket, anticipating the written request.
All right. So, Mr. Hamey, do you want this next Monday or August 9th?
This next Monday would be July 26th.
Yes.
What time?
9 o'clock. And Judge Meisenheimer is doing those in person.
I think the August would be safer.
Okay.
Well, and that was August what?
9.
August 9th at 9
Okay.
a.m.
And those
Okay.
are
And those, yes, and those are in person.
So I will file a request for hearing, and I'll also file a notice of hearing for, what do we call it, status?
the status.
Yes. Yes.
For August 9th at 9.
Yes. And so, yeah, and then you can proceed with Judge Meisenheimer to jury trial.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Y'all have a good day.
Yeah, Ms. Beverlin, anything further? Okay. Thank you very much.
Very good. See ya.
Mr. Pratt. You know, let Mr. Pratt in with Mr. Jalili, who I believe. Good morning, Mr. Pratt.
Good morning. How are you, Your Honor?
We're doing well. So you're here for Mr. Jalili?
Yes.
Is Mr. Jalili supposed to be?
He is in Norton Correctional Facility. I sent them the information. I don't know if they have it on their schedule or not.
Yeah, wherever they are, they're not putting they're not putting that they're from Norton. Hold on just a moment.
Okay.
I've sent a message in the waiting room and we'll see if anybody responds. I'm not getting a response
Right.
that there's anyone from Norton here, Mr. Pratt. So how would you like to
Okay.
proceed?
I think that we could possibly just update the court on where we are on the case, and proceed that way.
Okay.
Um, the county attorney and I spoke yesterday. It is my understanding that, she is agreeable to reducing the bond to OR. We're gonna have to get paperwork up to him, obviously, to sign that. That is to help him, with some programs and I think also work release. Um, it's my understanding also that the county attorney will be getting, an offer to me, which I can discuss. His out date with the DOC is not until January. Um, he did waive the time limit on the writ at the last hearing. So I think that we're pretty good in that regard.
All right. And is that your understanding, Ms. Beverlin, about the bond?
Yes, there's one addition. We had done this with another person who's with PDOC, where we put them on bond supervision and give them about 48 hours after they're released from custody to start reporting, so that somebody's monitoring them. They'll be on parole as well, but that allows them, I guess, a little bit of leeway to see how he's doing after this time with PDOC.
And that's not till January, right? So there's a chance, yeah, so there's a chance that this will be resolved before January, so he wouldn't have to do that, right?
Well, I think our contemplation is that we are not going to be able to actually get it resolved until he is released from DOC.
I got it. Okay, and did you hear what Ms. Beverlin said, that on the bond that she's requesting some pretrial supervision reporting but he wouldn't have to report till after he's released from KDOC.
I did not actually, I couldn't actually hear her because her mic is muted, but she did mention that yesterday that she would like him to call into Pratt County probation or pretrial services once he is released, and then they will set up a schedule.
Okay.
So if there's anything else I missed, but I believe that's generally all we discussed.
Okay. And did you all talk about an amount on the OR bond?
Whatever we have right now, make it a OR.
Okay.
So that's a $75,000 OR bond.
Okay.
I believe that's the amount that his bond is now.
Why don't we let's make it a $5,000 OR bond.
Okay.
The $5,000 OR bonds, just
Okay.
kind of way. So yeah, $5,000 OR, and then require pretrial reporting once he is released from KDOC.
Okay. And Your Honor, again, if I can get that paperwork, I can get it up to Norton to have him sign and get back to the court, and then that will be able to lift his hold or the detainer so he can get into work release and some other programs that are that he can get into.
Okay, and that'll be beneficial to him. So when do we want to set the next hearing for this case to keep track of it?
November, maybe?
Yeah.
Unless the county attorney wants to do it sooner or later.
We can just see if his release date's still scheduled for January, November, side of it.
Right. Yeah, so yeah, why don't we set this for November 3rd?
Okay. And that's the 10 a.m. docket?
Yes.
Okay.
And we'll just check in, then we'll set that for status on November 3rd at 10 a.m. just to check in and see, you know, what's changed, just so we don't lose track of it.
That's perfect.
All right.
All right.
Anything further, Mr. Pratt?
Not for me, Your Honor.
And Ms. Beverland, anything further on Mr. Jalili's case? Okay, well, thank you, and we'll see you in November.
All right. Thank you very much.
Oh. Now we have Norton's Correctional Facility. I'll bring them in. Hi there, Mr. Jalili.
Me here.
Yeah, hello.
Hi, yeah, you just had popped it up on our, and then in fact, I sent a message saying anyone here from Norton, and didn't get a response, but Mr. Pratt was just in, and so what we did is I reduced your bond to an OR bond,
Okay,
and he's going to be getting you the paperwork. So you can start participating in some programs that you need. So that will remove your hold.
okay,
And he's going to send you the paperwork. And then we've just set a status for November 3rd at 10 a.m.
okay. At 10 o'clock?
Yeah, at 10 o'clock.
Okay,
And just to check in because, and then as part of your OR bond, once you get released from the Department of Corrections, you'll have to report to court services here in Pratt.
okay,
But you don't have to do that until you're released next January.
okay,
You still get released next January. And then, we're just gonna set a status for November 3rd to just check in and see where you are at that point.
okay, okay,
And Mr. Pratt will be getting you some paperwork.
okay, okay. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Judge,
Yes,
I just wanted to let you know, we tried to reply to the message you sent, but we couldn't. There wasn't a way for us to respond, so.
okay, I'm sorry. And you were off my screen and I apologize.
No, that's okay. I just wanted to let you know, so for future reference that.
Okay, okay, great. All right, thank you.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you very much. Oh, that means my pen will look nice.
Tracy, I see you. Oh, there you are. You can barely see the outline. Have small words on that screen.
And here's Mr. Howard. Good morning.
Morning, Your Honor.
Are you here for Mr. Kaufman?
Yes, and his probably could be the quickest one to take up. Your Honor, in this matter, sorry, I would ask to set this out a week or two to finish reviewing the video. And then I did contact Tammy this morning because I was going through the videos yesterday. I didn't see a video from one of the officers, and so I was going to see if they'd be able to obtain that video. And so I would just ask to set this out maybe probably 2 weeks, I guess, actually probably best to make sure I can get that and review it.
Ms. Beverland, any objection? No. All right, so we will continue this until August 4th at 10 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, and I think that's all you have at 10 o'clock. Is that correct? Oh, no. Did you have another?
And Mr. Bauer.
Oh, I see that. I'm sorry. Mr. Bauer, and he is in the waiting room, I will admit him.
And Ms. Beverland, did you receive my email on Mr. Bauer?
Yes,
I know this is
can make it work. Can you hear me?
not very well.
I'm gonna sign into Zoom. Maybe that might.
I'm sorry, I really can't.
Right,
hardly-
she's signing in on her laptop because that should. And then what you might do is turn off your speaker, but not your microphone. If you can do that so we don't get feedback. But we'll see how this works.
Mr. Bauer, can you hear us, by the way? You're on mute.
Give us a thumbs up if you can hear us. All right.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so Ms. Beverland, you're muted. No, I think you're, as long as it's turned down, you'll be okay.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
That we could probably work out the 3 days somehow. I do want to advise the victims were just notified that it was a status, and I think I want to make sure they have the opportunity to speak at sentencing. So we can plead and set it for sentencing today, or just set it out 2 weeks and get it all done at once. But as far as, I want to check with the jail because it'd be 2 days and 1 day. I don't know how thrilled they're going to be about that, but if they're okay with it, then we can make that work.
In that case, I think Your Honor, I think we've in principle reached an agreement on this. I think we've got some logistics to get finally figured out. And of course, we can't, I guess, with the victims not being notified for that an agreement had been reached, since, of course, agreement was just reached. Your Honor, I guess my preference in this would be to set the whole thing out and just take it up all at once. I think that would be the cleanest way, rather than take up arraignment and then sentencing later in case any of the logistical issues create a problem for Mr. Bauer.
Understand. So is there any, you want to go to that fourth date, that August 4th?
That works for me, Your Honor. Mr. Bauer, will the 4th of August work for you?
Yeah, it should. Is that a Wednesday?
Yes.
10 a.m. Okay, so we'll set this, we'll continue this until August 4th at 10 a.m.
All righty.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
And Your Honor, I believe that's all I have on the 10 o'clock docket.
It is. I even had you color coded and I missed that one. How did you end up with only 2 cases? Okay, thank you very much.
Not a problem. Bye.
And so we make this go a little bit smoother. I'm going to call on the people who don't have their names on here and find out what. Oh, well, there is. That answers that question.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Good morning,
Hi,
Mr.
Judge
Wago.
Sylvester. Good morning to you.
And are you here with Mr. Montesino?
That's correct.
All right. And this is 2021 CR 43. And Mr. Wago, where are we on that?
Judge, we have applied for diversion and sent money and the application up to the district attorney's office. And we are, I think, awaiting their approval.
All right, have you, Ms. Beverland, have you all received the diversion?
I remember, I signed one yesterday, that was Mr. Johnson's. I guess I need to, if you want to set it 1 week status, so it's either on box or it's in the mail, so we can make sure we get it filed.
Okay, and Mr.
Oh,
Wade,
it has come, yeah, it's here. I thought I signed it. If I haven't, I'll make sure it's signed.
okay, apparently Ms. Beverland's office has received that. Well, I'm gonna set this for status in 1 week, on July 28th at 10 a.m. And hopefully and that'll be a diversion or a peer. Hopefully you won't have to come back, and that'll get taken care of, or we can set it for a check journal entry.
Perfect.
Okay, so we'll just set it 1 week so we don't lose track of it, but it looks like everything's gonna be good.
Perfect. Thanks, Tracy.
Okay, thank you, sir.
See you, Judge.
All right, good morning, and who are you? What? Yeah, you need to connect to audio. All right, can you hear us? You know, and do you recognize this? Okay. All right, can you hear us now? I'm going to ask you to unmute.
It's unmuted.
All right, yes, and what's your name?
Adam Vanderpool.
Okay, Mr. Vanderpool, I just brought you in so we could figure out who you were. And then I'm gonna put you back in the waiting room and we'll call you here momentarily.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Bring in Mr. Slinkard. Good morning, Mr. Slinkard.
Good morning.
You've got several, you like to take up Ms. Campbell first?
Sure, Your Honor.
Here.
She is in the waiting room. She's here on Zoom. All right, Ms. Campbell, can you hear us? If you can, give us a thumbs up. All right, and she can. This is cases 2021 CR 44 and 2021 CR 46, State of Kansas versus Kamisha Campbell, who is here via Zoom with Mr. Slinkard. Mr. Slinkard, where are we on these cases?
Your Honor, I've had the opportunity to share the discovery materials with Ms. Campbell. I do have a proposal to make to the state, which I will do. And we just need to pass this to give me the opportunity to do that and give Ms. Beverland the chance to ponder our proposal.
So will a couple of weeks do, or do you need more than that?
I think that'll be fine, Your Honor.
All right. Does that work for you if we continue this for August 4th?
It does, Your Honor.
Okay, and it's and it's agreeable with the state. So Ms. Campbell will continue your case until August 4th at 10 a.m. You can sign in just like you did today and use that same link that you had today. And then we'll check in and see where you are. So thank you very much. Okay. Mr. McClure is also in the waiting room. I'm going to let him in. All right, and we're here in 2021 CR 19, State versus Simon McClure. Mr. Slinkard, what's the status of this case?
Thank you, Your Honor. As you're well aware, Mr. McClure is currently in treatment. He is residing there. He doesn't have a vehicle, so coming back to court or seeing in person is rather difficult at this moment. We did discuss a potential resolution. I don't know that the state's had a really opportunity to give that the thought and consideration the state probably needs. So if we can pass this to the August 4th docket, I think maybe we'll be in a chance to get it resolved.
Any objection, Ms. Beverland?
Yeah, so is he done with the inpatient treatment? He's just in the outpatient?
I'm going to repeat this in case you can't hear. Ms. Beverland's asking if he is in the outpatient or still in the inpatient.
I completed inpatient. I'm in a sort of living house now.
Okay. Great.
So I think a couple weeks, we can hopefully try to reach resolution.
Okay. She has no objection to the continuance to August 4th at 10
Thank
a.m.
you.
And so, Mr. McClure, you can come back just like you did today.
Get here like 9 almost every morning.
Okay. And so, yeah, that'll be at 10 a.m. on August 4th.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you and good luck to you.
Thank you.
And we have, and do you have, you have Cody Armour,
Yes, Your Honor.
who I don't see in the waiting room, but how is Mr. Armour doing?
He is doing fine, Your Honor. He is keeping in contact with me. I don't believe his phone has internet access, Your Honor. It's a text messaging phone. So that probably explains why he's not online today.
Okay. And
If we can pass this to August 4th, I'll get with Miss Beverlin and see if there's a chance of getting it resolved.
Ms. Beverlin, do you have any objection?
Judge, I do. Let me fix that. Is that better? I think the CSO, or I know CSO has filed supplemental affidavit. Cody has not been reporting. He was required to appear at every court hearing because this court granted him an OR bond. I don't see him here in court today. It's 10:40. He should have been here at 10. He's not on the phone. I think his bond should be revoked. And should be a no bond in my opinion, but 10,000 is what it was. It should be 10,000 cash or commercial surety.
Mr. Slinkard, do you want to respond to that?
I don't have the motion in front of me, Your Honor. I don't doubt that that's been filed. My staff has been rotating through vacation, so things aren't getting printed off and put in the file as promptly as they routinely are. That will rectify itself when we're back to full staff. I'm not aware of those particular circumstances. As I've stated, Mr. Armour has kept in quite good touch with me, and I would ask that Mr. Armour be given one more last chance to make things right.
All right. And Ms. Spurgeon has walked across the hall and is here in the courtroom.
That's what, and actually now that I look, the affidavit has not been filed in Bob's case, but it was filed in David's case.
Oh.
So
Okay.
it's probably unfair in Bob's case to do
Okay.
anything.
Yes, because we do have, so Mr. Armour is also represented by Mr. Lynch, as you're aware, in two other cases, because there was a conflict on this one. The motion to revoke has not been filed in your case. It's been filed in Mr. Lynch's case. So we're going to take that up. So why don't we go ahead and on Mr. Slinkard's case, we will, did you want to continue this till August 4th?
We just go
Yes,
one
sure.
week, I can get the motion on file and then we can get it up to speed maybe with the other ones.
Ms. Beverlin is asking for 1 week.
Let me flip back to my calendar and see if that works, Your Honor.
Okay.
I'm on my phone, so if I lose you, I apologize.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You can come back.
That will work, Your Honor.
Okay. So let's do Mr. Armour for July 28th at 10 a.m. and then we'll take him up on Mr. Lynch's case and see where we are. And then the only thing else I've got with you are the 4 cases with Mr. Tater. One's a status on 2020 CR 98 and the others are check journal entries.
I think that was my fault. I was supposed to do a journal entry and I wrote down some notes, but didn't get it in a journal entry. So if we could just do another status one week, make sure we get that done and I'll get it filed.
All right, and just because you may not be able to hear, Ms. Beverlin is taking responsibility on the journal entries and wants to set this off one more week to see if we can get the journal entries done.
That's fine, Your Honor. Her office will promptly get those to me and I will review them promptly and we'll get those issues resolved.
Okay, so we'll set all these for 7/28 at 10 a.m. and they're all check journal entries.
Yeah, I think what we did is we set everything out because we had issues with whether or not we could have the trial that day.
Okay. All right. So we'll move all that, and that should take care of you, Mr. Slinkard, I believe.
It does, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Good morning, Mr. Nicolay.
Morning, Your Honor.
And are you here on the May cases?
I am.
And you're representing both Deborah and Grant on 21 CR 57 and 58. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And where are we on these cases?
Well, Your Honor, my client had something of an alibi witness, and so I've drafted up an affidavit for this alibi, and she's reviewed it and executed it, and I provided it to the county attorney's office, and county attorneys received it, and I guess it's been forwarded on to the officers for review. And so right now, I think we need, and let me back up. This alibi witness, I believe, only pertains to Mrs. May and not Grant. And so we're waiting to hear back from the county attorney as to what comes of that affidavit. And then on Grant May, I believe he's qualified for diversion. And so he's going to take that. He's going to move forward with the diversion. And so long-winded way of saying that I think that we just need to continue these out a little bit.
All right. Ms. Beverlin, is it your understanding? Hold on. Okay.
There we go. Yeah, I was actually in between dockets. I was able to speak with law enforcement about the affidavit. It doesn't really change our opinion of the posture of the case, for what that's worth for counsel. But continuing it for further discussion is fine as a Deborah May. And then for Grant May, we can probably continue it to see if we can get the paperwork filed.
So, will the August 4th date work for this?
Yes.
Or do you need to go further? Okay. Mr. Nicolay, is August 4th work for you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fine with me. I'm not sure with Grant being, I think he's 19 and working at Humble Pie. He may not have the diversion fee by that day, but I will at least know by then how much time he'll need.
Well, do you want to go the 11th?
No, well, no. Let's put it on the 4th. That way I can that way it kind of puts him on a short leash to get it taken care of. He's a student up at KU, and so he's probably going to be heading back to Lawrence sometime around the 11th. And so I'd hate for this to, I think we probably want to get this wrapped up before that.
Okay, so we'll just set both these cases for status on August 4th at 10 a.m.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Okay. And that's the only thing I have on here?
I think it is.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Judge.
I think you've got the rest of them.
Okay.
The do you want to let's go back and you want to take up Mr. Armour first?
Sure, Judge.
Were you listening on YouTube to our previous discussion?
I was not.
Okay. So I guess because Mr. Slinkard had him on another on the third case, and then you have him on the two cases, 21 CR 16 and 20.
Correct.
And we don't, is he there with you?
He is not. All I know is what the information I've got from Miss Spurgeon, that supposedly he's in a treatment facility, but I don't have any confirmation of that. Or he was supposed to be going to a treatment facility, but I don't have any confirmation of that.
And what Miss Spurgeon was just in here, and
I think she just wanted to make sure that the or
oh, okay. Okay.
get her back in here.
So she's right here. Miss Spurgeon is right here.
Okay.
Do you have nothing? I don't. And the only thing I have is what Cody has reported. I don't have the email. I just have that he called on the 7th and said that he was going to go into treatment all day. I had asked him to come in so I could figure out where he's going, sign some releases, get the report that day on the 8th. Or it says he didn't have to know the 8th. But so I don't know. I don't know if that's actually true that he was going to treatment. I can't. I took a shot with Valley Health.
Okay. Well, apparently Mr. Armour said he was going into treatment, but did not report when Ms. Spurgeon asked him to on the 7th to or let her know where he was going. She tried Mound Ridge, but he's not there. So we don't know where he is. And have you heard from him?
I have not, Judge.
Well, I don't know. So now we're up to Mr. Slinkard, because apparently Mr. Slinkard, he's keeping in touch with Mr. Slinkard, but that's the only person he's keeping in touch with.
What did you guys do with Mr. Slinkard's case?
We set it on August 4th at 10 a.m. and unless Ms. Beverly has an objection, kind of.
We did 1 week.
I'm sorry, I wrote it down wrong. So we went to 1 week to the 28th.
I would ask to do the same in this one, Judge. And if he's not here, doesn't provide proof that he's in treatment, I'd expect a bench warrant to issue at that point, and I will let him know if I can get a hold of him.
Okay. Any objection to that?
Well,
Hold on. Okay,
and I know the affidavit has been filed in Danny's cases. I would ask that the bench warrant be issued today. I remember Cody in jail and out of jail, always making statements, I'm going to treatment, I'm on my way. Nothing ever seems to pan out. I understand the court's opinion, 1 week is 1 week. We can issue a warrant today or next week, but my opinion would be to issue it today.
just in case he's in treatment and can't make it to court. I'm going to give him 1 more week, but Mr. Lynch, tell him if he's, and we told Mr. Slinker the same thing. I told Mr. Slinker the same thing. If he's not here, and if he doesn't have a phone to get on line, he can come to the courthouse, but he needs to be here on the 28th or provide some proof that he's in treatment, or we're going to issue a bench warrant, or I'm going to issue a bench warrant.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
And then Mr. Osborne is in the waiting room.
Okay.
Mr. Osborne may have left his device. So I tell you what, we're going to put him back in the waiting room, and we know Mr. Vanderpool is here, I believe. And there's Mr. Vanderpool. So, and this is 2021 CR 73. Mr. Lynch.
Judge, I spoke to Mr. Vanderpool a little bit. I need to get the discovery sent to him and reach out to Ms. Beverland to see if we can reach a resolution in this case. So I'd ask to pass it maybe to August, either 4th or the 18th to do that. Probably the 18th would be better on my end.
Ms. Beverland, do you have any objection? No, I don't. She says she does not. And so we will continue this until August 18th at 10 a.m. Mr. Vanderpool, you can use the same link that you did today. And when you sign in, you'll see a box that you can change your device name to your name so we know who you are. Okay? And we'll see you on the 11th.
Or the 18th, I believe.
I'm sorry. We'll see you on the 18th. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
And Mr. Walker. This is 2020 CR 140, and Mr. Walker was going to apply for diversion, it looks like.
Yes, Judge, and we have that, and I believe it'll be filed by the end of this week. I just asked to set it for a check diversion next week, and it should be filed before then.
All right, any objection, Ms. Beverly? All right, so we'll, and she has no objection, so we'll set this until July 28th at 10 a.m. for just a check diversion. And Mr. Walker, you don't have to come to court if the diversion has been filed. All right, and good luck to you. Thank you, and let's see if we can get Mr. Osborne back. All right, Mr. Osborne, can you hear us? Mr. Osborne, can you hear us? Mr. Osborne's device has joined us.
Well, and I spoke to Mr. Osborne about 9 o'clock this morning, so I know he's present, intending on appearing.
All right. Is this something he needs to participate in?
Well, I don't know if the court or Ms. Beverly wants to hear from him. I think we've reached an agreement, but to do so, Mr. Osborne needs to get his license reinstated. So I was talking to him. We ran his history this morning. I'm seeing that he's still suspended at Dodge City Municipal Court. He was going to reach out to them between our phone call and this docket to figure out what he needs to do. I think he just needs to finish paying on a citation there, and that'll be lifted. But once that's lifted, I think we're ready to resolve this. So I guess at this point, Judge, without hearing more from Mr. Osborne, I'd ask to go 2 weeks to August 4th to give him a chance to do that and then resolve this matter.
Ms. Beverly, oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Mr. Osborne, can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Sean, can you hear what's going on?
Okay, there he's connected. All right, can you hear us, Mr. Osborne? Can you hear us? And to see, where does Mr. Osborne live?
He lives in Mullenville, Your Honor.
Okay.
And he does a good job of staying in touch with me.
Okay. So Ms. Beverly, I guess the bottom line is, do you have any objection to continuing this until August? Did we say 4th?
Oh. Ready.
Go ahead.
Okay. I was gonna suggest going 1 week, because we've given this defendant months to get this figured out. And if he was supposed to be on the phone with them this morning while waiting, after speaking with Mr. Lynch at 9, I don't know why he wouldn't have an answer. So I would suggest we just go 1 week, and if he can't get this figured out, then we just need to set it for a trial.
All right. Do you have a risk? Let's just do that. Let's set this 1 week and see if he can get this figured out.
Okay.
And Mr. Lynch, you could also, since he seems to have problems on his end, he could but he seems to be able to call you. He could always call and be on speakerphone.
And I'll probably ask him to come to my office as long as he can make that work.
I think he's on there now. Mr. Osborne, can you hear us? If you can hear us, give us a thumbs up. Okay, he can hear us. So we've continued your case for 1 week to see if you can work out your stuff in Dodge City. Do you have anything here? Let's unmute you. Were you able to get a hold of Dodge City?
Yes, I did contact them, and I have to pay $585, but the time has lapsed or whatever. But I just need to call my payee and have my payee give them a check. She'd just been making payments.
Okay. Do you can you get this taken care of in a week, or do you need a couple of weeks before we check in with you again? Or
I believe a couple of weeks would probably be better, but I mean, I could try to do as much as I can in a week.
does this change your?
I'd like to see where we're at.
Okay. We're going to do a status for next week. So just come back in a week and we'll see where you are and see how much you can get taken care of in that week. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And we'll set this for 10 o'clock on July 28th.
And Sean, if you make a payment and get a receipt, can you send that to me so I can share that with Ms. Beverlin as well?
Yes. Yes,
Okay,
I can.
thank you.
Okay. And I believe that takes care of Mr. Osborne. And I believe that takes care of you today, right?
That's all that I have on my book, Judge.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Before you go, oh no, you can go, Mr. Lynch. We have
okay,
Mr. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm done with you. Okay. We're done with you, Mr. Lynch. You can go. I was talking to Ms. Beverly, but she has to stay around anyway. And Mr. Rogers is here.
Oh.
So I'm just going to let him in and tell him what we've done.
Hello.
Good morning, Mr. Rogers. So we had called your case at 10 o'clock and understand you had some problems. But Mr. Johnson has asked for a few weeks to get some things worked out. And so we set your next hearing for August 11th at 10 a.m.
Okay, and it's going to be in person from now on, right? So I'll go up there.
Yes.
Or is it going to? Okay.
Yes, but you need to call Mr. Johnston ASAP.
Yes, sir.
And get.
I'll call him after this and get an appointment scheduled.
Okay, great. And because you need to go into his office and he needs to go over some things with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so August 11th at 10 a.m. or is it?
Yes. Did I get that right? August 11th at 10 a.m. and be sure and contact Mr. Johnson.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got Elaine Esparza, but she's in the wrong one. Because Mr. Fanning's in custody, right?
Yes.
Let me let her in.
We've got to see custody full play. Are you gonna keep your tail fly? Oh, I forgot about it. I'm not sure.
Good morning.
Good morning, Judge.
This is we were just finishing up the 10 o'clock docket and your client's in custody,
Yes, he is.
and that's another link. Do you have that link?
No.
Why don't we send that to you really quickly, and then we'll switch over to the other one because that's where the jail is. That's because he's on another link.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I may have gotten that and I can't find it right now.
Ms. Beverlin is sending it to you right now,
All right.
and we'll see you over there.
Okay, that'll be fine.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.